Swadika, and thank you for joining us for the morning edition of NBT World Brief. You're with me, Tra Tirakaosan. November 17th marked the final day of the historic 5-day visit to China by Their Majesties King Maha Vajiralongkorn and Queen Suthida. On November 16th afternoon, Their Majesties the King and Queen proceeded to the China Academy of Space Technology for a tour of Beijing's Space City, a major center for the country's modern aerospace development. Their Majesties viewed a presentation on Space City located in the northwestern outskirts of Beijing, which brings together China's leading agencies responsible for satellite development, space exploration, and aerospace engineering. Inside the exhibition halls, Their Majesties observed China's major milestones in space research, including more than 480 satellites and space probes successfully launched since 1970. These missions span communications, navigation, human-crewed spacecraft, and deep space exploration. Their Majesties also viewed real spacecraft components and scale models such as the DFH-1 satellite, Shenzhou spacecraft, and the Chang'e's 1 lunar probe. Exhibits include the Beidou navigation system, lunar and Mars missions, remote sensing satellites, and a mock-up of China's crewed space laboratory complete with astronaut living quarters. His Majesty the King was presented with a model of the Chang'e's 6th lunar lander, the first spacecraft in the world to successfully collect samples from the far side of the moon. The tour also highlighted China's astronaut training complex, founded in 1968 and regarded as one of the world's leading centers for crewed spaceflight medical and engineering research. The Beijing Aerospace Control Center, established in 1996, which has overseen satellite launches, deep space missions, and real-time communications with Chinese astronauts. On the afternoon of November 17th, Their Majesties granted a farewell audience in the hotel lobby to Thai diplomats, their spouses, and members of the Thai community before departing for the Palace Museum, where Their Majesties viewed the special exhibition commemorating 50 years of Thailand-China diplomatic relations. Following the visit, Their Majesties traveled to Beijing Capital International Airport and boarded a Thai Airways flight returning to Thailand, concluding Their Majesties' historic trip to China. The Thai government reaffirmed that Cambodia violated the recent Thai-Cambodian joint declaration, saying newly gathered evidence shows that Cambodian forces had laid new landmines inside Thai territory. Government spokesman Siripong Angka Sakunkiat said all data and information released involving the latest landmine blast on November 10th were accurate. However, the timing of disclosures may have contributed to misunderstandings surrounding the border situation and ongoing trade negotiations. He reiterated that prisoner releases would only take place once it is clear that Cambodian hostilities have ended. Thailand, he said, will continue to pursue peaceful means, but reserves the right to respond appropriately if provoked. Defense Ministry spokesperson Rear Admiral Surasan Kongshiri explained that since the mine incidents began, 20 Thai soldiers have been injured, 7 of them losing limbs. All explosions occurred inside Thai territory. He stressed that Thailand does not possess PM2 anti-personnel mines and that physical evidence, videos, photographs, and other materials confirm the mines were newly planted by Cambodian forces.
เหตุการณ์ในวันที่ 10 พฤศจิกายนที่ผ่านมานะครับเป็นการละเมิดอธิปไตยของไทยอย่างชัดเจนมีการนำเอาทุ่นระเบิดเข้ามาวางในพื้นที่มีการตัดรั้วลวดหนามที่ทหารไทยวางไว้นะครับเพื่อที่จะแทรกซึมเข้ามาในพื้นที่แล้วก็มาวางทุ่นระเบิดนะครับอันนี้ก็ถือเป็นการละเมิด ปฏิญญาร่วมหรือ Joint Declaration อย่างชัดเจนของทางฝ่ายกัมพูชาครับการที่มีทุ่นระเบิดอยู่ในพื้นที่ยังถือว่าเป็นอันตรายต่อชีวิตและทรัพย์สินของพี่น้องประชาชนฉะนั้นจึงจำเป็นที่ต้องมีการดำเนินการในเรื่องนี้อย่างเร่งด่วนอย่างต่อเนื่องด้วยนะครับแล้วเราจะดำเนินการ ตรงนี้ไปเรื่อยๆนะครับ13พื้นที่โดยที่เราไม่ได้คำนึงถึงว่ากัมพูชาจะทำยังไงเราจะเดินหน้าต่อไปในเรื่องของการเก็บกู้ทุนระเบิดเนี่ยนะครับแล้วเรื่องของการปล่อยเฉลยศึกนะครับจะเป็นเรื่องสุดท้ายเมื่อเราเห็นว่าทางกัมพูชานั้นสิ้นสุดการเป็นปรปักษ์ครับ
Thailand's economy slowed in the third quarter, with National Economic Planning Agency warning of further weakness ahead as exports and government spending lose momentum. Thailand's Office of the National Economic and Social Development Council has reported that the country's GDP grew 1.2% in the third quarter of 2025, a significant slowdown from the 2.8% expansion in the previous quarter. NESDC Secretary General Onfabe Chatiwa says private consumption continued to support growth, but exports, government spending, and manufacturing all declined during the period. Headline inflation fell 0.7%, while core inflation averaged 0.8%. Thailand posted a current account surplus of $2.7 billion. As of September, international reserves stood at $262.4 billion, and public debt reached 12.23 trillion baht, or 64.8% of GDP. Now, looking ahead, the fourth quarter is expected to grow only 0.6%, with the government's Kola Kring Plus phase scheme and other support measures factored in. Full-year GDP growth is projected at 2%, down from 2.5% last year. Exports, however, are forecast to rise 11.2% for the year.
มาตรการต่างๆเนี่ยที่อย่างรัฐบาลออกอย่างคนละครึ่ง plus เนี่ยนะคะและสุดท้ายก็ได้รับการตอบสนองค่อนข้างดีเรียกขอเฟส 2อันนี้ก็สะท้อนค่ะถามว่ามีแรงส่งไหมมันก็มีแรงส่งในเชิงบวกในเชิง sentiment นะคะของการใช้จ่ายของความเชื่อมั่นในระบบเศรษฐกิจที่มากขึ้นอย่างนี้เป็นต้นดังนั้นดิฉันก็ยังเชื่ออยู่ค่ะว่าหากรัฐบาลยังดำเนินนโยบายต่างๆเพิ่มเติมในไตรมาสที่4นี้นะคะย่อมส่งผลที่ดีต่อเศรษฐกิจในปีหน้าได้นะคะดิฉันยังไม่ได้ปิดประตูตายว่าถ้าตอนนี้สภาพัฒน์ forecast ว่าไตรมาส4ได้เท่านี้แล้วทุกอย่างมันจะเป็นอย่างนี้ยังมีตัวแปรอีกหลายอย่างนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นการเจรจาทางการค้ามาตรการต่างๆของรัฐบาล
For 2026, GDP is expected to expand between 1.2 and 2.2%, driven by private consumption, government spending, and continued recovery in tourism and agriculture. But exports are projected to contract 0.3% as a result of new U.S. tariffs. The NESDC is urging the government to accelerate budget disbursement, especially investment spending, and maintain stable political and economic conditions during the election period to sustain investor confidence. The agency also calls for faster assistance for farmers affected by floods and preparedness for higher agricultural output entering the market. Trade negotiations with the United States remain a key risk. If talks fail to conclude by the end of the year, Thailand may need to adjust its economic outlook and explore new high-potential markets, especially in South Asia and Africa. There's new spotlight on Thung Kula Ronghai in Roi Et province with a community-based tourism route that blends local heritage with modern science and innovation. A new tourism route has officially opened at Bo Pan Khan in Roi Et, showcasing a fresh vision for Thung Kula Ronghai through the power of innovation and local tourism. The National Science and Technology Development Agency, or NSTDA, through its Agricultural Technology and Innovation Management Institute, launched the program in Ban Ya Nong, Suvarnabhumi district. Government officials, private sector representatives, educators, and students joined the event, filling the community with excitement. The day began with an overview of the project and the area's unique potential. Participants then set out to explore Bo Pan Khan's new experiential tourism model. Now, highlights included a scenic tour around the wetland through the concept of local roots, global reach, tracing ancient pottery traditions, discovering salt trail heritage linked to the Tenla civilization, and sampling local gastronomy. In the afternoon, visitors unwound with hands-on activities such as herbal compress making, salt foot spa treatments, and crafting with natural materials. The event concluded with an open forum where experts, teachers, students, and local residents exchange ideas for strengthening Bal Pan Khan's tourism ecosystem. The initiative aims to elevate Bal Pan Khan as an innovative tourism destination with Tung Kula Rong Hai, creating new income opportunities while empowering the next generation to take part in sustainable community development. And that wraps up our morning edition of NBT World Brief. Stay updated with the latest developments and more stories. Just scan the QR code on your screen to access our full coverage across all platforms. Until next time, Swathi ka.